Darvin, you've been talking about sustaining pace, for a full game and, finding a way to hold off the charges that came out. How did that flip tonight in that third quarter and then again in the fourth when they tried to come back?
I mean, for one, we knew they were going to make a couple of runs, prideful championship team. The biggest thing for us, just making it as difficult as possible. They hit some tough shots. We had some unfortunate fouls, some unfortunate turnovers. Everybody down completely for the entire game. So you just have to be prepared for that onslaught and make sure you're doing what you need to do and meeting force with force. Force them into tough situations. If it doesn't work out, move on to the next play and go try to, go back at them.
It's the first time that you've out-rebounded them in, I think, 6 games, and AD has 23 of them. What did you see from him, and how did that play into the glass overall?
Totally just dominant. Just the way he's been on the glass, changing, being that defensive catalyst, communicating. Our perimeter guys, all our guys stepped up and played well in terms of trying to control their matchup. Times where we had to switch, just be active on the backside. Got a lot of good stuff to look at film, and just got to be even better, even more perfect.
Coach, with everything that happened in the game tonight, did you kind of wonder to yourself, why haven't we played like this before?
I mean, again, like I said pregame, we've had great stretches against this team. We've played for good segments. 7 to 8 minutes that we just kind of dropped the ball. But tonight, we just stay in the end. Our competitiveness never wavered. Our togetherness never wavered. And as I just told them, the selflessness. We found a group that made a nice little run, and it was time for certain guys to come in the game, and those guys who were coming in the game said, no, let them rock out. So that togetherness right there, that growth, and everything we discussed yesterday about being one and, beautiful focus, recalibrate, and have that same mindset going up to Denver.
Darvin, D'Angelo is obviously a very confident player, and after game one
I'm very confident in him.
And came out firing in game two. He was a little more let the game come to him in terms of flow in this game. Did you like the way he kind of approached this game?
I loved it. I told him to go crazy. Be confident. You've been doing this your whole life. Go crazy and be aggressive. Got you. Shook my hand, gave me a hug, and did what he did tonight. I'm so proud of that kid. It's just everything that we've been through as a team. On the court, off the court, just injuries, everything. Like, we deserve this tonight, and we just got to bottle it up and really keep it pushing and really understand that, it could be our time. Why not us? So just push through to the next game, keep that focus, and don't look too far down the road. More selfless.
Dar, following up on D'Lo, it felt like his diversity in his shot selection tonight was great, and it's something that you said you wanted to see him do, play downhill, put the ball on the floor. How much did that help the offense in general?
Big time. I mean, whenever he's decisive and aggressive, even his no-looks, LeBron and his pocket passing, the way he finds people, when he's in his mode, and again, being deliberate, being aggressive, he's elite. He's elite.
To kind of follow up a little bit, you guys there was a stat that ESPN posted. I mean, you guys have led more than 100 minutes in this series, and you've outscored them in the first quarter. I think the playoff best plus 27 now, but had nothing to show for it in terms of results. Despite the history of 03, do those stretches give you confidence, bigger picture in this group as it moves forward into the series?
Absolutely. Efforts, you got to stay aggressive offensively, and on both sides of the ball, you got to have a next play mentality. You got to move on to the next play, good, bad, indifferent. Move on to the next play, and you got to force the action, force the whistle. You can't go in there expecting for the whistle to save you. You go to make plays. If you get the whistle, great. If not, that's okay too. We just have to be focused on making plays.
Darvin, kind of a two-part question. A, in the third quarter struggles, can there, and B, before the game you talked about living in the moment, not letting the situation get the better of you playing. So with that, what's the message moving forward as well?
Not becoming stagnant. Just continuing with our pace, continuing getting stops. We got a bunch of dominant stops, and then we got some timely stops. They hit some tough shots, got some N1s. We didn't hang our head. We made sure we was organized going the other way, knowing what we wanted to get into and what AD Lowe, everybody, the coaches, everybody just, again, was what we talked about yesterday in our film session, just being together, having that dialogue, guys understanding the moment, just being in the moment and leaning in with joy and not stressing the fear that a situation like this, win or go home, brings a lot of anxiousness, nervousness. We just wanted to lean into the joy of competition.
Darvin, to your left, Darvin. Seemed like still running through your offense efficiently, getting through your sets quickly. How important is that, especially against a team like this, where to be that organized, especially against a team that always seems like they're organized?
Again, you know, it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. I just want us to be all on the same page. You know, I may call it set. Phil, you know, he navigates our offense and try to see how we can extract as much as we can. He and JD, all we're doing is trying to get the best out of each offensive possession. Same thing with CJ and the crew, Jo on the defensive side. So it takes a collective, collaborative effort to be pristine and to continue to stack great possessions on either side of the ball, and that's what it was tonight. Both offensively and defensively.
Hey, Darvin, after so many losses to this team, if there was a mental block that you guys had Game 5?
Yeah, I choose passion over emotion, intelligence over ego. We can't rest on our laurels. It's a beautiful thing for us to finally get a win against this team. You know, these been some hotly contested games, hard fought, and we, you know, break it down to the win-loss column. Obviously, we've been on the short end of the stick. But now that we, quote-unquote, cracked the code, we got to know the Santana's up, a focus on the game plan to take it up even more notches so that we're efficient and we know what we're doing. We're all on the same page, competing our asses off.
Darvin, you guys obviously got off to a rough start at the beginning of last season.
They kicked all you guys out your seats, man. What the hell happened? See Kobe over here by the garage, Dave over there behind the curtain. What the hell, man? No love for the homeboys?
No respect.
Damn.
But you stretch and you're 13th in the West, and you got to kind of live day by day to get where you want to get and make the play-in tournament, make the first round of the playoffs. Any of that existence, can that help the situation you're in now, where it's like you got Game 5? I mean, some people would look at this series and say, I mean, I wish it was 2-2 or whatever, but you got Game 5. And how has your group been trained to just live with that versus looking elsewhere?
Last year, I mentioned it before the game, just 2-10 to having to make a key move with the deadline, key moves, trying to put all that together on the fly, and then identifying a core and making sure we get those guys back, and you know, extending just everything that went into trying to formulate this team, the most continuity that we can possibly have. Coming out, a couple of guys hurt, key guys hurt. Then, you know, we get guys back. So tournament night, we played 2 extra games this season, you know, the in-season championship as well as the play-in game. So all of that said, our guys never stopped chipping away at the rock. And we would have our dips here and there, but for the most part, we stayed strong, we stayed focused, and we've always been able to collect ourselves in the film room, in the theater, watch what we need to watch, have dialogue, and come out ready the next day out to put our best foot forward. Thank you.
Defense, a transition defense. Where did you have breakdowns on that side of the basketball tonight?
Transition was all right. They only had 8 fast break, but yeah, the paint was a joke. I mean, every huddle, I think you're at most of our huddles. It sounded like a broken record tonight. Every huddle was paint, paint, paint. And game 3, they had 70. We found a way to win. And tonight they had 72. They had 42 at halftime. That's an incredible number. And when you break it down, they shot 64% in our paint. Starts in transition, blow-bys, just one-on-one containment, no help. And I just didn't think we had the requisite physicality or urgency. You know, this did not seem like a closeout game. And give them credit. You know, their backs were against the wall, and they came out and handled their business. And so now everybody can stop talking about the 11-0, and we have a chance to go home in front of the best fans in the world and try to close the series out.
closer, but they were getting offensive rebounds and kicking out for three a couple of times. How important was the disparity in second chance points in the Glass overall?
Well, yeah, this is the first game that we've been out-rebounded. You know what I mean? So for them to out-rebound us 46-40, but more importantly, 8 offensive rebounds for 14 points. And when you're never hold a lead for the entire game and you're fighting to get back in the game and cut into it, when you finally force them Glass and outworking us, it's just it doesn't work like that. So, yes, I thought that was definitely part of the problem as well, our inability to rebound like the way we have done in the first 3 games.
Coach, you've reiterated all series. You know, we need to get out to good starts. We need to get out to good starts, and you know, it's something that's kind of eluded you guys for these 4 games. How much of an issue is
It is that we just weren't ready to play, and not just because of the scoreboard, but you know the ease in which they scored. I mean, the very first basket they scored was a walk-in layup. That set the tone for the whole night, and it was LeBron James getting downhill to his left hand to finish, and you know that was kind of a unfortunately an ominous sign for what was to come because they scored 70 more points after that. So that's what I'm more concerned about. This is transition. This is paint. It's not play calls, you know. And tonight, obviously, we didn't have that. But your point is well taken because that's 4 games in a row where we have lost the first quarter, and we've been down at halftime. And now you hope that to close the team out, you can't play a half of basketball. You know, if we're going to try to win this in 5 games in front of our crowd, it's going to take us coming out ready to play and sustaining that for 48 minutes.
You talked about transition defense, defense in the paint, not being ready to play. A reminder of what a grind the playoffs are and how much focus it requires to either close out a series or just win a single game.
Yeah, I mean, like, you want to win every game, right? You know, it would have been great to close out 4-0, sweep the Lakers again. That rarely happens, and especially when you have 2 All-Stars, 2 All-NBA players over there. So we got one on the road, which is really important to close out any series. And yes, there's no panic. We have a chance to go out and close it. But the challenge within that, as you know, is we can't continue to play like this. I mean, they're not rolling over. They're not going to give us the first round victory. We're going to have to earn it. We're going to have to take it. And tonight we didn't come close to earning it or taking it. And that's why we got beat. That's a talented team over there. And they play with more desperation. They play with more urgency and more physicality.
Coach, you were talking a little bit about not being ready to play or even just the ominous signs. Did anything play into like the shoes not being here on time? There was I guess the bus with the shoes was delayed and people are in their slides. And
if you want to dig into stuff and say, well, we lost because for some strange reason all of our players didn't have their shoes when they got here for the normal warm-ups. We had guys out there shooting around with flip-flops. Is that ideal? No. But I'm not an excuse guy, and I'm not going to point to the reason we got our butts kicked in the paint because shoes weren't here. I think that's a reach, personally. Is it ideal? No. And hopefully we can figure out and make sure that never happens again. But that's no excuses, no explanations. We didn't get the job done. And the good thing about this is we have a chance to go home and try to get back to playing our brand of basketball and an opportunity to close it out in front of our fans.
Coach, you said you sound like a broken record, transition points in the paint, all those things. How frustrating is it to having to keep saying that over and over again in these timeouts, maybe back-to-back games or in every game so far?
I mean, that's what coaching is. I mean, it's my job, and when you're playing well, or if you're not playing well, I think making sure your players understand the why. Why are we losing this game? Why are we not playing our brand of basketball? And obviously you would hope at some point guys are hearing the message and they're able to go out there and do something about it. And tonight, that just wasn't the case. And, our guys are a pretty honest group. I think they know tonight was not our best game. And it's really easy to stay together after a win. Everybody's, feeling good. The music is playing. Everybody's high-fiving. It's a challenge to stay together after a disappointing loss. But we're a connected group, and we'll go home, we'll watch the film, and we'll be ready come whenever the Game 5 is.
Coach, were you surprised that you guys did not come as ready to play as you hoped you would? I mean, 'cause clearly it's a disappointing performance, but were you surprised that they had more energy than you did?
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, like you go back to last season, I think going into tonight's game, I think we were 11-1 in our last 12 playoff games. And last season, in closeout games, aside from the Minnesota series, we went 3-1. And our guys attacked those opportunities. And I just didn't feel, and again, watching the film will help, I just didn't feel we had that same tenacity, that same desperation or urgency, whatever you want to call it. I just didn't think we had it, for long enough stretches. We cut it to 7, like Vinny mentioned earlier, but, it was like too few and far between. And that can't be the case. Like, we have to leave it all out there. If you play 42 minutes, you play 10 minutes. Go out there and leave it all out there. And when you do that, good things usually happen. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Austin, after Game 3, you had highlighted the third quarter, not just in that one, but the first two as a difference. Tonight, Denver wins it, but barely by 2, and then you match them even in the fourth quarter. What was the difference tonight as to how you guys were able to sustain that level of play?
I think we just, it's been a point of emphasis, obviously, for a reason. And going into that third quarter, it was, win the third quarter. Obviously, we didn't do that, but them beating us by 2 in the third, we're still up by 11 or 12 or whatever it was. So overall, a good third quarter.
Austin, what did you like about the opportunities afforded to yourself, to D'Lo, Rui, tonight, playing off of kind of the stars? And do you feel like you guys found a better rhythm offensively as a group around those players?
Yeah, obviously we scored 119, and before, I don't know if we, broke 105 or whatever it was. So, obviously, offense was clicking better than it has been in the, last 3 games. And, I think everybody in the starting lineup besides me, shot 50% or better from the floor. So, that's always a recipe for success. And then, obviously, always playing off Bron and AD. They relieve so much pressure because, coaches and teams are always so worried about them. Then, we could really be ourselves.
Austin, you've told us many times that you kind of dream about being in competitive series like this growing up. And last year, Game 4, you're up 15 at halftime. You don't get a chance to extend the series. Just how do you look at the opportunity that you guys earned tonight by winning the game and hopping on a plane to go to Denver?
We get, another opportunity to, go play one more game. And if we win, we'll come back and play another one and, keep moving from there. Obviously, wish we won 4-0. The odds aren't, stacked in our favor. But anytime we can, keep ourselves, floating above water, we have an opportunity to go do something special. And, we're ready for the challenge.
Austin, over here. From a psychological kind of perspective, like what does this do for you guys? Because 11 straight wins, they had won a bunch of games in crunch time. It almost felt like they were kind of unbeatable in this matchup. So to kind of finally make them bleed, so to speak, like what can that do for you guys just from a mental side?
Obviously you see that we can win those games, close games, late. When they make runs, I think that's when. In the past, they've really taken advantage of their little 7-0, 8-0 runs that would turn into 12-2 or whatever. Tonight, we kept them from kind of getting that and more. So it's just builds confidence on what we're trying to do and hopefully continue to do.
your guys' defensive rebounding or the Nuggets' offensive rebounding has been a talking point, or was a talking point after the first 3 games. How significant was that battle, one, but also for AD to grab over half of your defensive rebounds and just over half of your rebounds total? Just how important was that battle with him on the inside?
Yeah, I mean, AD does so much for our team, offensively, defensively, and obviously rebounding the ball. For him to go get 23 in a game like this, it means a lot. And you could tell with his mentality going into the game, it was, that's obviously been a point of emphasis and something that we have to clean up. And you could tell with, his mentality, he was just like, I'll do it. So tip your hat to a guy like that. We got to continue to help him. But, hopefully he can go get them all.
Austin, Darvin was telling us that he told collectively the team to lean into this opportunity, to lean into the emotion, and so you guys could play freely. Is that something that happened, and how was it different in Game 4 this year compared to a year ago in the conference final?
The difference is we won and have an opportunity to go back to Denver to try to continue to play. And last year, obviously, we got beat, and I thought we played a good game last year in Game 4. Obviously, I think late in the game they got us again as they have in the past. But like you said, it was really go in tonight and play and have fun and compete at the highest level. And when we do that, and we're paying attention to all the little details, then we're a really good ball club.
Austin, what did you see from D'Lo tonight in terms of being able to bounce back from Game 3 and have the impact he did in Game 4?
Yeah, it was amazing. Shot the ball well from 3. He was 4 for 8. He had his little, one of his signature runs where he gets 2 to 3 quick buckets that, feel like, 12-0 runs itself. Just the style of, basketball that he plays. We need him to be at, his highest level for us to be successful. And tonight, that's what he did. And, you tip your hat off to a guy like that because, the world's killing him after Game 3 for the performance that he has. And, it's probably a lot easier than y'all think to, really just go fold and, let all that distract you. But he didn't. And you got to tip your hat to a guy like that. And, it just shows how much we need him.
Hi, Austin. Also, a follow-up to that question. When you saw, D'Lo, you both have 21 points. Is it also that it takes a weight for yourself away then when you see your teammate scoring? And can you share some thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime, any of the guys on our team are playing well, making shots, everybody's extremely happy for them. And you feed off that. Energy's real. And when you got that, positive, good energy and things are going your way, it seems like, things continue to, fall your direction. So definitely, seeing him be himself and making shots, just encourages everybody else to, do the same and, stick to really who you are.
Austin, congrats on the win. Yesterday in film study, how much was there an emphasis, if any at all, on making an adjustment on Aaron Gordon, who last game led the team and today was held to only 7?
It's tough with him because he's such a good cutter and plays so well off Jokic that, you prep so much on how to, kind of not let Jokic be effective and score in the post. And, what he does really well is cut off that on the backside, being in the dunker. And it also puts him in, good position to get offensive rebounds. And that's really where he was hurting us in the last game. But, the point of emphasis was, you always got to keep your eye on him, like I said, because he's such a good cutter. And, we did a good job of that tonight and also keeping him off the glass tonight. Thank you.
LeBron, you had talked after last game about sustaining effort and energy throughout the whole game. I think you ended up with 18 attempts in the paint. A bunch of them came in the second half, some key in that start of that fourth quarter. Was that any direct effort from you, aside from just reading the defense like you typically would?
I mean, obviously, like we've just been talking, like we have to sustain our effort, we have to sustain our energy, and I thought the third quarter was very important. We've had a lead in a lot of these games, and then the second half, they've jumped on us, and even though, they outscored us by 2, we score with them, to keep the lead at 11. We was up 13 at half. They scored us by 2 in the third, but we was able to put up 30. So that, that definitely helped us going into the fourth. And then the fourth for me is just my mindset to try to close it out. Make plays, make winning plays, and I was able to make a few.
LeBron, because you are such a student of the game, what did you and your teammates learn from tonight that will help you in the next contest?
Well, they're going to make adjustments. They're a great team. They're great, super well coached. So, we have to be able to counter their attack, but also come in with the same mindset that we have to sustain our effort. We have to sustain our energy. However we're able to do that, keep attacking, and, try to keep them, and things that we can control, like fast break points. We only gave up 12 tonight to them. We only gave up 5 second chance points, and also at the same time, we only gave up 9 offensive rebounds. So we knew we had to rebound, and obviously AD was killer on the glass today with 23, and then everybody else just tried to chip in. So it was key for us to rebound. We out-rebounded them, I think, maybe, I don't know, the first 3 games, but I know for sure we got out-rebounded in game 3. We was able to out-rebound them tonight, and that really helped.
LeBron, as close as this series has been, obviously it's 3-1, and there probably could be a natural human tendency to look back and I wish it was 2-2 or something like that. But you guys as a group have been trying to climb out of, you were 13th in the West in January, trying to make the play-in tournament, try to make the playoffs. Will that serve you in this situation as a group? Like, you could look at it like an opportunity versus look at it like what could have been?
Well, the only opportunity for us is just to play the next game, and we've given ourselves another life. We give ourselves another lifeline, and it's a one-game series for us. So Monday's game, I believe it's Monday. Yeah, Monday's game is the most important game of the season for us, and we understand that, and we know that. So, what's at stake? If you lose, you're done. If you win, you keep going. So, it's not much to talk about.
LeBron, what did you make of the work AD did on the glass tonight, and just sort of, if you could kind of like put into words what that battle has been like this series for him?
I think, what AD did for us on the glass tonight, when we were able to get them to miss, they're very good at their offensive rebounding game. And for AD to, clean glass 20 on the defensive end is just key for our offense. It's just key for a lot of things that we want to do. And I think, AD doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. He's one of the best bigs that we have in the game, one of the best bigs in the world, and he's shown that again, through the first 4 games.
LeBron, what can snapping the 11-game streak do for you guys, just from a mental perspective? Felt like every time you guys were getting a close game with them, they would find a way to pull it out. This time, it's the opposite. Like, I guess, what can getting through that do, if anything?
I don't know. I mean, we won this game, and that was most important. But now we got to start focusing on the next one. So, it's not like, we lose the next one and then it'd be 12-1 in the last 13 games. So, we want to try to, make that not happen. We want to continue to try to play good basketball and focus on, our next task. And our next task is, like I said, is Monday's game, and see what happens.
Jamal Murray's hit some big shots down stretches of games, but you guys have largely held him in check, and he's been inefficient with his shooting. What have you liked about your guys' defense on him, keying in on him?
I mean, he's a great player. He's going to make shots. He's going to make tough shots. He's going to make big shots. That's what he's done in this league for a long time. So, we just try to key in on our tendencies, key in on our game plan, and just try to be as efficient as we can. We're just trying to keep a body on him, and when he raised, we try to raise and not put him to the free throw line, and thought we were pretty good. I think all the guys that got an opportunity to match up with him tonight just did a really good job of just not giving him too many angles, but also just contesting a lot of his shots.
Noe showing the emphasis and urgency you guys have placed on the third quarter. At this point, do you guys talk about that at halftime, or is it something everyone kind of comes into the second half carrying
I
themselves?
mean, it's both. I mean, we know, we talked about it. We've been talking about it. It's been something that's been an Achilles heel for us all season, coming into the third quarter with some energy, understanding that teams want to try to make that run when the second quarter happens. So we talked about it again tonight, and we was able to fix it. And it goes more than just talking about it. You guys got to go out there and be about it as well. And I thought we did that. So it was very key to us getting this win tonight that we was able to, stay a good pace with them, throughout the third quarter. And like I say, even though they scored 32, we scored 30. We was able to still, maintain that energy going into the fourth. It was an even score. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Became uninspired. Once Lauren Hill retired, regular schedule.
D'Angelo, what did you think the difference was in this game where it went a lot like the first three games? You guys build a lead. Denver starts to come back tonight. They didn't get over the hump at any point. Where did you see that shift?
I think that was like a third quarter, adjustment, for us to come out and prioritize getting a good warm-up, attacking them in the third, not being on our heels, letting them attack us. Obviously, we've had leagues to start the third. I just thought we as a team, we locked in on, the game plan, and we attacked, during that start of that third, and that was a result of us keeping that lead, staying at it. When we made subs, we still found a way to contribute to what we were trying to do. There was no let-off, so it's huge.
D'Lo, you've lived through the feedback swirl that exists in social media at times in your career. What grounded you or prepared you for Game 4 coming off of Game 3?
I don't know, try to be as humble as I can. I just think I've been through it all before, and I kind of prepare myself mentally before I go through it again. And I don't know, like I said, I've prepared for this, all summer, all season. I try to prepare myself for these times now when everybody's watching, everybody has something to say. And I just try to stay to myself and to my own opinions and emotions.
D'Angelo, after Game 1, you attacked Game 2 with a lot of aggression offensively early. It felt like tonight, like it was a little bit more of a feel out from you while being aggressive but not forcing it. How important was it for you to try to, while wanting to obviously play better than in Game 3, but to still play, I guess, quote unquote, the right way?
This isn't a place that you're going to come out and try to dominate the game when you got LeBron and AD right next to you. Bless you. So for me to come out Game 3, not score, and then come out and just be ultra aggressive and try to do all that extra stuff, that's not really me, and I know that's what people were expecting me to do. So it made it easier for me to prepare my mind for that approach, and it was just let the game come to me, be aggressive, and it was simple as that. And we looked up, everybody was aggressive, everybody was pitching in. AR was huge, Bron and AD continued. Torian Prince was huge, Spence, Gabe, all those guys pitched in, Jackson. And it just allowed us to have an imprint on the game in our small little role that we have, and it was contagious. Everybody wanted to continue to fight and compete.
D'Lo, Coach told us that he told everybody to lean into the joy of competition, and in particular, he was very outspoken about how much he still believed in you. Did that help you? If you could speak to that.
I appreciate that, but I believe in myself. Simple as that, more than anybody. So, I don't need that, but I appreciate that.
D'Lo, over here. Congrats on the win. It seemed like there was a great diversity in your shot selection compared to Game 3. Put the ball on the ground. How much did that help you get into rhythm tonight?
I watched it from Game 3. A lot of my threes, small sample size that I had, the shots that I had were all tough ones. And I just felt like my mind was made up when I got the ball. And I saw that in film last game. And tonight, I see Caldwell Pope running me off like I'm Steph Curry. So I try to, make plays and attack in that small pocket.
Yeah, over here, D'Lo. One thing you guys did well tonight, especially in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, every time they made a run or punched, you guys punched right back. Jokic would hit the three that bounced in, you guys come right back and drain a three, keep the lead where it was at. That's something you do extremely well, like score in bunches and scores like that, especially when you can kind of feel, they might be going on a run and your team needs it. How do you guys control that moving forward or continue that in this series?
I think that's what's hurt us in the previous games. We found a way to score, get stops, and then at some point we stop getting good looks. We stop putting the ball in the hole, and they find a way within their system to continue to be efficient and get good quality shots. And for us, that's something that we struggle with. So for us to focus on it this game, to continue to get good shots, continue to push the pace. If something happens, right, keep it going, next play mentality, and it kept the pace of the game up, and I think it played in our favor.
D'Lo, I got two for you. Follow up on that. How much did staying organized in those moments offensively help you guys keep Denver away? It seemed like you guys were more together in the sets and running it through it in those moments compared to maybe previous games.
Huge. Obviously, teams can get stops, and for us to get stops and score, it eliminates us from having these dry spells where they find ways to come back and get themselves into the game. Go ahead, man. Don't have my dog waiting now.
Mentally and emotionally, just how can ending this losing streak to Denver help you guys going forward?
I think it was huge. We got something positive to look on the film. Like I said, everybody did their part. We know that's what it's going to take to win. So to continue to keep that going is the effort that we need to have. So.
AD, you have a 2020 game, I think, tied a postseason career in rebounds, and your numbers throughout this entire postseason have been, way up there. What type of groove are you in right now, and how can that groove be applied to the next challenge in Game 5?
I just feel good. Just taking my time, reading the defense. My teammates are doing a great job of giving me the ball in space and in areas where I could be most effective. But it's another challenge going to Game 5, in Denver. And, we learned from, tonight what we did great, what we can be better at, and try to have some carryover going up there on Monday.
AD, obviously there was a lot of attention on their win streak over you guys. From a mental perspective, what can it do for you guys just to kind of get that, kill that narrative and sort of just move forward knowing that even if they go on a second half run, you guys can still withstand that and come out victorious?
Yeah, you kind of get that monkey off your back, but I just think, the difference in the first 3 games and actually all the games that we have lost to them in a row and tonight is that we just scored. We scored in the second half, 30 in the third and 28 in the fourth. Usually we're in the low 20s or even high teens, and they're scoring big. So the team like that, they're going to continue to score. We just have to continue to score as well, and I think that was the difference in tonight.
AD, ESPN aired a stat during the game that I think you guys have led something like 130 minutes in this series, and now you finally have something to show for that. But bigger picture as you guys move forwards in Denver, how much confidence does that give you, considering the way you guys have played? Maybe not in results, but in total in this series.
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in our team. Like I said, we've had to lead a lot during this series, and it's just been our second half where we haven't, actually our third quarters, where we haven't been able to execute and score the basketball. So our confidence was never lost at any point in the game. But, when we come out and execute, coming out of halftime, which was a big emphasis today, to come out and just score the basketball, it kind of just gets us going. So we had some good looks to start the third, even though we missed, and then we were just able to kind of find a rhythm offensively and put the ball in the basket. But it gives us confidence, especially going up there, knowing what we were able to do, game one, game two, even though we didn't get the results, but we know that, we can get out early, and it's just about coming out of halftime, playing with more pace, more physical toughness, and execution.
You guys have largely held Jamal Murray in check, especially compared to last year's series. What have you liked about the defense against him?
Our guard's just making it tough on him. He's a hell of a player. He can score the basketball, three-level score, and we're just trying to make it tough on him. He's going to make some tough shots. We just don't want to give him anything easy. I think our guards, Austin, Gabe, D'Lo, Spence, just making it tough on him and making him take contested shots, making him take tough twos, and if it go in, we live with it. But just continue to pressure him and make him take tough twos.
AD, the scoring for you has been efficient and consistent the whole 4 games, but have you noticed some of or what have been some of the Denver coverages if they've switched Gordon onto you, or are there certain pockets where you feel like you could still, get the ball more in certain spots, or do you feel like you're in a good rhythm about the flow that it's in right now?
I think I'm in a good rhythm, just how we're playing. We're just playing in the flow, not really forcing anything, just letting the game kind of come to me. A lot of pick and rolls, stuff around the rim. If I get some isolation, just trying to be aggressive. If I see an open floor, if I get a rebound, pushing it, being aggressive in those moments. But like I said, I think my teammates are doing a good job of just giving me the ball in positions where I can be effective, and then I just make the read from there. Whether it's shot or a kick out for a guy to shoot a 3. But for the most part, I'm just trying to be very aggressive, knowing it's going to open it up for my teammates.
Anthony, there's been a lot of conversation about the bigs who face Nikola Jokic, the energy required, and just the danger of running out of gas in the fourth. How have you approached that this whole series, and particularly today?
He's a tough cover. He can score from all 3 levels. His passing makes him even more dangerous. He got good footwork in the post. He can shoot the ball from 3. He get it at the Dirk spot at the nail and just kind of operate from there. So it's tough. I just try to make it tough on him, make him take tough shots, and live with the results. So it's a team defense, obviously. When any team is guarding him, it takes a team effort to kind of guard him and just live with the results. He has some unbelievable numbers tonight, which he has had all series, but we just want to make it tough on him.
AD, your footwork in the paint to get around Jokic, your ability to get buckets over top of him at times. As this series goes on, how much more comfortable are you getting against a really good post defender?
I'm always confident in my offense. It's just about taking my time and making the shots and making the right reads. They've been playing a lot of one-on-one. Sometimes they'll send a double every now and then, but for the most part, it's just being confident in my game and just getting to what I work on every day in practice and workouts, and just trying to make those shots, and also just trying to make him guard. He's gonna obviously make me guard on the other end and put me in a lot of actions, and we just try to do the same thing.
Hey, Dee, did you and Bron have a talk essentially saying there's no way we're going to get swept in consecutive postseasons?
Not directly. I just think it was just a feeling in the room, starting with yesterday's film session. It sucks to get swept. Nobody wants that feeling, especially going to the summer. You got to live with that feeling for the rest of the summer. So, we didn't really talk about it, not just me and Bron, but the entire team. We know what's at stake. Like I say, nobody wants that feeling in their mouth for the rest of the summer. So, the way we play tonight is the way we got to play for the rest of the series. A sense of desperation and coming out with a sense of urgency.
here on the right.
Let him get settled first. Mike, what did you see from them in this game that you hadn't seen from them so far in this series?
Yeah, I mean, they played good once again, and we came in pretty nonchalant, like they were going to roll over and give us the game. We can never do that. I thought we played hard in spurts, but we didn't come out with the right energy. Yeah, but you got to give them credit. They played well, you know. Aaron wasn't getting behind the defense as easy as he was last game, and they made some adjustments offensively to kind of distort our defense. So they played a good game overall.
Michael, Coach Malone just said it's easy to stay together after a win, much harder to do after a disappointing loss. How much confidence do you have in this group's ability to stay together even after a performance like that?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to close it out tonight, obviously, but we knew that team wasn't going to roll over. But, yeah, like you said, spirits are high after wins and after losses, you know. Guys are frustrated, but, you know, we'll regroup tomorrow, and we're still together. We'll always be together. I mean, this is the playoffs, man. It's not going to be an easy road. It's going to be hard, like very hard to become a champion this year and repeat. So the road's not easy. We're playing against some great players, so we can't let bumps in the road, you know, throw us off too much.
On the right.
When you look at tonight's game, you look at 70 points in the paint. You look at, you know, just the first quarter, and once again, you know, having a double-digit deficit. What's the one thing that you guys want to clean up in between now and Monday in order to try to shift this?
Yeah, I think we got to get up to better starts. We don't want to – it takes a lot of energy to come back from these double-digit leads, you know, down 20, down 15, whatever it is. And tonight they did a good job of sustaining it. Whenever we got within 10 or 8, it seemed like they made a three-pointer or made a big shot, so credit to them. But, yeah, the points in the paint hurt us tonight. You know, LeBron getting downhill. Obviously, AD was living in our paint. Austin Reeves got to the bucket, so we got to do a better job all around.
I know this is just something that happens in pregame and everything, but we all saw the shots of people warming up in their slides and stuff. I don't know what all happened there, and how did you guys react to it?
Yeah, no, we definitely don't want to come off like we're taking anybody lightly, and I hope that wasn't. We just didn't have our shoes. Yeah, I didn't have my shoes to warm up in. I think the bus that the shoes got loaded onto was the last bus for. I think there was some confusion, so all I had was slides. So they said we'd either skip our warm up or go out there in slides, and I kind of knew then that people would probably make a big deal out of it, but it was just because somebody forgot to put the shoes on the right bus.
Did it matter to you at all?
Yeah, I'm frustrated about it. Like a pregame routine is very important. But everyone makes mistakes. Everybody's human, so I'm not too mad. But it's obviously frustrating because those pregame shooting times are very important. But like I said, everybody makes mistakes.
Here on the left.
Michael, obviously you guys want to win every game, but can this serve as maybe a wake-up call about the poor starts and some of the controllable things? Is it easier to hear some of that coaching after you guys lost and maybe kind of take it in?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, we knew coming into tonight we didn't want to get off to a slow start. We've done it every game this series, and tonight they managed their lead better. So we've been learning from the film, but we didn't apply it as good as we should have tonight. I felt like we didn't come out with the right aggressiveness and energy as a collective group. So, you know, last year we lost game 4, I think, against Minnesota first round. And we're looking forward to going home and trying to get the next one.
Last two. Back there.
Yeah, Michael, not to harp too much on the slow starts, but when you look at it, is it a matter of you guys not having the necessary energy, or is it more strategic in terms of how that's coming down?
That's all on our approach and our energy, and just, you know, from the tip, from the jump ball, we have to be locked in defensively, not letting them get off to just those fast starts with fast break points, not doing our assignments. And then on the offensive end, we got to come in the game and be aggressive and, you know, own our spots and be aggressive, getting downhill, attacking the rim, and not turning the ball over, and we'll be okay.
Last one on the right.
As a team, you guys haven't been shooting the ball well in this series, but you've been shooting the ball pretty well. What has led to that for you?
I mean, you know, I'm locked in. I'm trying to win another championship with this team, so I'm taking everything very serious off the court. trying to get my rest, trying to get my recovery, and I'm trying to approach the game very locked in and aggressive. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I could have shot better tonight, missed some threes that I wish I would have made, but overall, I'm gonna stay aggressive and stay locked in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more coming. Can I have a stats? No?
Does anybody have a final box?
No worry.
Okay. Nicola, what did they do that disrupted what you guys wanted to do tonight in particular?
I mean, I think their offense was something that they were really pushing the pace. They had open layups. They were destroying us in paint. We couldn't make a shot. They didn't even make. They couldn't make shot either. But seems like that affected our defense a lot. I mean, that's a great team. I always say, like, their last 4 games we are down. First quarter, halftime, whatever. So they are playing really good. I'm good.
Nicole, how do you balance trying to defend physically while also trying to know that your availability is so important and try to avoid foul trouble? Is that a challenge at all to balance?
I mean, I'm just trying to make the guy shoot over me or make him hard or whatever. So I really don't think about not making a foul. It's. I don't know. I don't think I'm not really good in defense, my friend. So I don't know what to tell you.
Nicola, winning a series is difficult, not easy. When you had a chance, you came here tonight thinking you have an opportunity to just end it, and you don't get that job done. There's a level of frustration, disappointment, upset. What do you feel?
I don't feel that. I mean, like I said, they're a great team. We have another opportunity in 2 days at our home. Our home court, we will win or we will lose. We will see what's going to happen. So hopefully we can win at home. After that, if we lose, we have another opportunity. So we will see.
On Monday, from a general perspective, what adjustments do you want to make from now until Monday that can help?
Do you really think I'm going to tell you?
Not specific. That's why I said from a general perspective.
From a general, try to stop their transition and try to don't let them 80 points in paint, basically.
You had that pass, Nicola, in transition, that tip pass to Michael Porter. How did you know where the basketball was, and how did you know where to throw it or tip it so that?
I mean,
it
I
would be
was
to Michael?
hoping the ball is going to be in front of me, and I saw Mike, so I was just waiting the ball so I can see the ball. And KCP threw the really good pass, and I would just tip it to Mike.
Were you surprised that he was there?
No, I saw him.
You saw him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do these slow starts feel like something that's just happening? Do they feel like controllable to you guys? And are you hopeful that going home and playing in Denver?
I mean, of course, we want to win, but I learned in horse racing, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we didn't finish today really well, so hopefully we can do a better job. But yes, we want to be up and control the game, but it seems like that didn't happen to us.
As a team, you guys aren't shooting the basketball particularly well like you have all season long. What do you need to do to fix that, and are you concerned with that at all?
I mean, yes, of course, this is like 4 game. We are not making shots, the wide open looks. It's literally not even one player is not making open looks, but we are creating them. So we need to still believe in our shots, and hopefully we're gonna make some.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys. Pleasure, like always.